Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dirty Chai Club, where we untangle identity, culture, womanhood, and everything in between. I'm Jasmine, and in today's episode, it's going to be a little special because I'm going back to India for the first time in over 9 years. And I think that the India that I remember isn't going to be the India that I'm about to walk into. People have been telling me that the part of India I'm going to is pretty much the same still, but I don't think so just because of what I see online. Um, so this is going to be a two-part of like series. So today is part one, and we're going to be talking about culture, westernization, nostalgia, and what it means to return back to India after nearly a decade.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Tina. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jasmine's partner in conversation, cultural critic, hype woman, and the one who asks the question she sometimes wishes I probably didn't. Today, we're setting up a conversation that's both reflective and a little vulnerable at the same time. The India Jasmine remembers versus the India that she's about to rediscover. In our last episode, we got really vulnerable and we talked about something that's still a little taboo in our community. It was Jasmine's IVF journey and infertility journey. We went deep into what it actually feels like to go through something like this. Obviously, it was very emotional while dealing with the cultural aspects, the pressure, and the main question, when are you having kids? We talked about the importance of being vulnerable, having a support system, and why we need to keep having these conversations. And then sometimes to get them out from behind the doors. Jasmine shared what her experience was really like and the hard parts, the loneliness, unfortunately, and ultimately the joy of becoming a mom. It was definitely a powerful conversation that we had about breaking the stigma, opening up, and just remembering that our community and understanding of it all makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and then that whole conversation about kind of breaking silence, challenging certain old beliefs about motherhood, and then giving ourselves permission to be vulnerable and rewrite the narrative. It actually is going to set us up perfectly for today's topic because, in a different way, we're going back to India after over 9 years, and it's going to bring up a lot of the same themes. So, identity, culture, what we hold on to and what we're outgrowing. There's the India that I remember, I can tell you some specific memories that are just like chef's kiss. You're never going to get those back. And, you know, that's the India that I grew up visiting with my parents. We didn't have a lot of family in India. It was like a lot of distant family or um, a lot of mandirs. And then there's the India that I'm about to walk into now with my own family and my kids. Um, so today we're going to start part one of that two-part journey where we're going to unpack what I'm expecting to see and what I'm nervous about and how, westernization and nostalgia and cultural evolution is all going to collide, I think, when I haven't been back in over almost a decade. So the last time I went to India, it was 2016. I actually did go with my husband. It was after we got married. Um, we did Yatra. So I think we were there for 2 weeks and then we did like a quick couple day stop in Dubai also and just kind of had a little bit of me time there. Um, but you can tell between 2013, no, I went 2013 into 14 and then 2016. So even just like within those like 3, 4 years, everything was like changing really fast. And then so when I went in 2016, it was just like, okay, something's about to just like flip. Like you can just tell people were in general, the people that you come across just had more wealth. And so that's where you can kind of see like, okay, things are about to change in this country.
Yeah.
It's not going to be third world for much longer. And it was really exciting to be there for that. Um, and you saw women that were dressed in completely like jeans and like regular shirts, but then they're walking around next to other women who are wearing like salwars or saris.
Hmm.
Um, in 2016, we had a lot of social media stuff going on here, but I don't think it was as prominent in India yet. And I think a lot of that evolved because more people started getting smartphones in India and stuff. And so then it just, the whole world is being globalized essentially, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I do remember thinking like India is changing, and I now I'm going back and I'm like, I kind of don't want it. I did like now in hindsight, I'm like, man, I wish it was like the same dusty roads that I grew up visiting. Because there's like certain memories that I'm like, I want my kids to have those adventures. And that's how
Yeah.
I always saw all my trips to India. You know, we used to go, my first time I went was in second grade, and we would go every 2 to 3 years, sometimes every year in between. And that's all my trips. I just remember like lots of adventure.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think
just
we can
don't
all
think
speak to
that,
that.
yeah. I mean, we met up in India one time, right? And
Yes.
it was an adventure, like just running through the rains and the monsoon and like eating all the street food. And I don't know.
Getting
What do you
sick at
think?
times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yes, you did mention like fashion, lifestyle, social media. They're all obviously taken apart, right? Like there's things that are now changing. And like you said, when you went last time on your trip, you did see some changes already when it came to like the attire that they're wearing and social media aspects taking place, right? But what are you expecting this time? Like how what are you imagining it's going to be like now? Is it going to be more of like Gen Z India being more global than America Gen Z? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I also, the last time I went was 2015, like right before 2016. And I was only there for like a week and a half or so. So I'm kind of curious as to what you're expecting to see as opposed to like when I had my huge gap of like prior to 2016, I don't think I had gone there till before my sister's wedding, which was probably like another 10 years prior to that, right? So I also saw what it was in that time frame of a huge change, right? So like what are you most curious about? What are you imagining it's going to be like there and what's your expectation?
So I'm going to Ahmedabad,
Uh-huh.
and my brother-in-law has been telling me like, no, don't go to Gujarat. Like you need to go outside of Gujarat because like he's like, you know, Chennai, Mumbai, all of that is like super modern now. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. I can see it in like videos of that people are creating online, social media influencers or whatever. But I'm going to Ahmedabad. Um, and originally the thought was like, okay, go to Mumbai, stay there, maybe go to Gujarat for like a week, whatever. But the whole purpose of my trip this time is just to get the kids acclimated to the environment there. And I don't mean like acclimated to the AQI because like that's going to be just horrendous for all of us. I'm guaranteeing all of us are going to get sick in the first couple of days, the
Yeah,
first
you are.
day. Um, but what I am wanting them to just get acclimated to is like the noises and like the foods there and just life. It's just so much different there. And they might not feel it yet because they just turned 3,
Yeah.
but people don't get how life is so different here to there.
Hmm.
And I just like you go to India and not just as an NRI, but like people who live there have their own driver,
Yeah.
their own cook.
Their own
Then another
cleaner.
person comes to do just the dishes. Somebody
Yes.
comes to just do the laundry. Somebody comes to just do the cleaning in the house, like the kachra potu in the house.
Yeah.
What else? What other services can I think of? Like every service is taken care of.
Yeah. Someone you can just send to get your iron, like clothes ironed, like
Yes.
is very different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. It's definitely a different lifestyle. I think that's something I agree with you. And I tell my parents this sometimes when they're like, we should just move to India. I'm like, yeah, there's that flip side. You know, here we're working for all that. We don't have somebody that's going to do our laundry. We don't have somebody, I mean, some people do, don't get me wrong, but normal middle class people
Yeah.
do not have somebody who's going to do our laundry that's going to help us cook. Even if I don't even think about a driver, right? Like here we can drive, it's not that big of a deal, but just like normal household things, right? And I think that is a huge burden that's taken off our parents and also for the people that are living in India, right? Like they have it, it's a norm. And for us, when what I've seen some people adjust to is like not having that here when they come here,
Mhm.
right? And they're like, "Oh my God, like you Americans work so much. Like you work
Mhm.
so hard, and like living in America, you would think that dream is you come to America and you have this lavish lifestyle, right? That American dream that people are like reaching for. And I'm like, nah, man, low key, you kind of have it better. Like,
Mhm.
because you're not having to do all these things. We're here, we do have to do it, and that just really changes how you're doing life. Like, if you think
Yeah.
about, oh, I don't have to come home and cook because dinner's already going to be ready for you. That's one less thing off your plate where you can focus that, for you on the kids, right? So it does make a big difference. And I think that's something
And they
we don't
siesta over
value.
there.
Yes, that
Like,
they do. Yeah.
they don't call it siesta, but it's a siesta. And I think that the whole world siestas except for America. And
Yeah,
I really want America to start siestaing
I know.
because like
Like, I mean, I
I
think
could
me and you
use a nap.
both, yeah, I mean, I don't really nap, but I love that like all other countries, and you and I have visited other countries where like in the afternoon shops are closed and they're like, no, we don't open, or they don't open till like the evening time after a certain point because they all are taking a break, during that time where we have a 30-minute, maybe an hour lunch break during work. Like,
Yeah. So
we
like
don't
just
have
our
that.
cultural differences, right? Like culturally,
Yeah.
like our country, I'm not so sure about England. I feel like England is still even a little bit slower than here too, right? But it's just go, go, go all the time. Like there's even on you're on vacation, you're on your weekend break. Like what's a weekend anymore,
Yeah.
right?
It's very different.
And
Yeah.
so I kind of want the kids to experience the flip side of that and just have that cultural experience of India and just starting to get them used to it early so that when we do go back and I want to visit every couple of years, like how I grew up visiting and not have this huge break. I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't know why. I do know why this huge break happened. And it was partially because, like, going back to the fertility stuff, like, we were having those challenges and then COVID happened. And for a while, we were trying to conceive, and Zika was so prominent in India
Huh.
that we missed like my sister's engagement in India because of Zika. We missed my friend's wedding that was in Jamaica, I think, because of Zika. So like we missed a bunch of travel because of just trying to get pregnant and then being pregnant and then having the kids. And now like they're three, I'm like, let's go. We're going.
Yeah, we have to go. Yeah. I mean, what are you hoping for? Like, especially now that you're going with the kids, are there parts of India that you want them to experience? Especially because, things are disappearing. There's things that are disappearing just because outside life, weather, whatever it may be, culturally, there's a lot of things that are changing. Like, what are you hoping that they can experience before the next time that they might not be able to experience that again? Loaded question, I know.
Yeah. So for example, this is just something so silly and simple, but like all of a sudden, this started happening when I went last time in 2016. But like everything, all the street food all of a sudden has like loads of cheese on it. And do you know what? Growing up, I used to go to India and people in India used to make fun of us because they'd be like, oh, Americans put cheese on everything. And now I'm like, who's putting cheese on everything? I do not want cheese on my pav bhaji. I do not want cheese on my dosas. Like,
Yeah.
stop. Can we just have the food that we are like
Don't skip out on the butter
historically?
though. Yeah.
Yeah, give me the butter. Give me the butter. Give me the ghee.
Yeah.
I don't need cheese on my Bombay sandwich. I don't mind it on my Bombay sandwich, but
No, it's like
you know
when
what I'm
it's
saying?
smothered. It's
Yes,
smothered.
everything
I've
is
seen the same
smothered with
videos.
cheese.
It's like
And
shredded onto it
yeah,
and it's just like
it's
you
like
got the
this is
Bombay
like the
sandwich.
level of food, and then this is like the level of cheese on top.
Yes, it's crazy. But to be honest, I'm excited for your food scene. Like that is one thing I think I've been like sending you videos where I'm just like, please visit some of these places when you're going there because that scene has also like not just the street food, right? I feel like the restaurants all they have leveled up in India.
Hmm.
And I think that's what I'm excited for you to try. I mean, I think I've sent you so many videos of that too, where I'm just
I
like,
have
I
them all
can't wait.
saved.
Yeah. I was like, I can't wait. Obviously, you need to do the street food, but like that's one of the experiences I'm hoping you get to do is like visit some of these places with the kids and also experience that side.
Yeah. Like a lot of restaurants that I'm seeing online now are like designed to be social media
Yes.
magnets, I
Uh-huh.
think for local influencers, and there's so many local influencers in India right now.
Yeah.
Um, and that was never the case when we grew up. Like when we grew up and we used to go to Bombay, right? And I remember Mama's friend used to take us to like the Juhu
Yeah.
that and like the beach, like that was nice. Or like I just heard a kid wake up by the way, in case they come like running in
Crawling
here.
in.
Just um but yeah, so or they would take us to like McDonald's in Mumbai.
But
And
that was like a thing.
that was like the thing. Like that was like the place for people to go if you had money back in the day
Yeah.
to buy fake McDonald's essentially because it wasn't real McDonald's. It was like
Yeah.
Indian McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Like
Because
lettuce
you got like
didn't
the
happen. It was like cabbage.
yeah. But now you'll go and you'll be able to see the difference. Because I will say it, that was one thing in 2016 when we went. Now they have Subway, they had Pizza Hut, Domino's, they had the prior time that I had gone there with like my sister and everybody. Um, so yeah, those things are definitely there. But now it's like all these fancy schmancy restaurants where they're like, we're eating avocado toast. And I was like, where'd you even get avocado from? Like,
Yeah, who
those
grows
things like
avocado in India?
yeah, it was just like some of those basics that are going to be definitely interesting. I know, you're talking about how there's influencers and stuff like that, right? Let's talk about like the duality of that, right? Because on one hand, it's like a lot of our culture is being seen through social media, right? We have, like you said, influencers, even local influencers like that are becoming really big in India, but also international influencers that are going to India. But on the other hand, credit isn't always given to a lot of things that are originating in India. How are you going to navigate through that? Like, I know sometimes it really does bother you. I know these are conversations we have, and I know I think for a lot of us, it kind of rubs us the wrong way certain times. I think one thing I would say is like the whole Prada thing, right? Like that was a huge issue, like the little chupples. And I was like, bro, like I can't believe you just threw Prada on there, but I'm gonna go
Hmm.
throw Prada on some of these chupples and be like, we done. Like
I
you
know.
won't
I
know the
have like a bunch
difference.
of my in my garage because my
Yeah.
dad comes and he wears like he leaves his like chappals here. And I'm like, these are basically the Prada
Yeah.
sandals. I have like thousands of dollars worth of product sitting here technically.
Exactly. I know. It's wild. It's wild. But how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think you'll see out there or how I don't even know if you'll probably see that on a day-to-day basis, but like what's your just thought behind it?
So I have two thoughts, and they're both like clashing
Huh.
because on one hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Look how prominent Indian culture is in Western culture. For example, like turmeric, yoga. Sorry,
Child at the door.
I can hear. I have headphones in, but I can still hear. Yeah, but like things like turmeric, yoga, I don't know, all sorts of things. I can't even think of it right now, but like Ayurvedic principles and going back to holistic healthcare, right? Like all of that is very much India. Meditation, mantras, um,
Yeah.
color runs with like powder, and I'm like, that's Hori. You're playing Hori. So there's just a lot that I see, and like obviously chai, right?
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
it's cha. I mean
Let's try.
chai in Hindi, right? Chai wala chai.
Yeah.
Ghee, I mean, I just am flabbergasted at the things I see
Yeah.
in living in America, in Arizona. And I'm like, so you're really racist, but you love yoga. Okay. Like,
Make it make sense.
make it make sense. So, or like, people are like, I love my ghee and my coffee, but they're like super redneck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know where ghee comes from? Do you know what the word ghee is? Like, do you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
give a little credit where credit is due, please.
yeah. I think it's hard, and I think I've had this conversation with you. There is a difference of appreciating, and I think we've talked about this on another episode where it's just appreciating the culture, right? And it's like, yes, I'm glad we're able to like mix in a lot of our culture with again being raised here and the American culture, but I think it's how people go about it. like you mentioned, the color run, right? We have Holi out here, um, where it's like beach day and all of that stuff too, right? And you have your events out there. But I think the difference is when people are actually wanting to know why they're doing what they're doing, right? So, for example, me and my friends this year, we actually did like one of the Holi events, right? But it wasn't like, "Oh, we're just going to, like, throw color around and have fun." My
Exactly.
friends genuinely asked, and they're like, "Okay, what's the purpose? Why do you do holy?" Like, and they also looked it up on their own. It wasn't like I was getting all this information, and again, I'm not super knowledgeable about it either. Like, there's things I don't know about it, right? So, like, we looked it up, we talked about it, and, like, then it was like, "Okay, like, I understand this. This makes sense." And even for, like, Diwali, like, all that kinda stuff, like, I have to give my friends that want to kind of like acclimate into this culture, not acclimate, but like just know my culture a little bit better. Like they've always asked the questions. They're not just like, oh, we're gonna go through color and like
Hmm.
call it a day. They're like, no, like if we're gonna eat this, like what's the difference between these foods?
Hmm.
Even when it comes to like chicken tikka masala and a dosa, like why can't we go eat chicken tikka masala at the same restaurant and get a dosa there? And I'm like, well, this is South Indian, like a dosa is South
Hmm.
Indian food, right? And like explaining that, but that I'm okay with. When you're actually wanting to learn about it and give credit, like it's not just I'm doing it to do it so I can post it on social media and be like, look at all the likes that I got. It's
Hmm.
really, I want to learn about your culture.
Hmm.
And I think that's the difference that it makes. Like, I think the whole Prada shoe situation, had they done it a little bit differently or given credit due, where it was like, these are made in India and for X, Y, and Z purpose or whatever, it would be very different. And I think you've talked about designers and stuff as well, where they're taking certain aspects of our culture and using it in their attire and stuff. And some people are really upset about it. Like I've seen on social media where they're wearing scarves and it's really like the dupatta and they're like, oh, look at my scarf. And I'm like,
A Scandinavian scarf.
yeah. And I'm like, that's your dupatta that belongs with that outfit, but like that's cool. Like you you want to have it that way. But I think those are the differences where I hope people that are going to India to do these reels and views and like eat, pray, love type of situations that like learn about the culture, learn about where did yoga come from? Why do we meditate? Who started that? Even if it's not an Indian culture, anywhere you're going, learn about that culture, learn about that space that you're visiting, and I think that's what really makes it important, at least in my mind.
No, I completely agree. And so I'm like I said, I'm excited to go because we get back to the roots, but then even in India, right? There's people in India that don't want to give credit to their own culture. And I think that in recent couple of years, what I have seen online especially is that there has been like a resurfacing of like, hey, give that credit. Like
Yeah.
people are calling each other out on social media for like call it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um so I am excited for my kids to just be there, and it's going to be very different for them than it was when I grew up, just because we would visit friends and family, and you're staying at somebody's house versus we're going to a hotel. um but I think they'll get the general gist, and in future trips we won't be staying at one spot for the entire time.
Yeah.
We'll be going and doing trips, and like a lot of the mandirs and stuff is how I grew up. I just don't want to take them everywhere right now because
Yeah.
there are only 3, right?
Yeah.
And hence, I'm just using this trip as, like, an acclimation trip.
Test the
And
waters.
yeah, seriously, and then when they're 5, then we can start going places because I do have memories of when I was that young,
Yeah.
like 5,
No,
6,
I
7.
I still think they're gonna enjoy, and I definitely do think, like, you acclimating them, great idea, but there's so much, like, even you staying in one place that you're gonna be able to just the experience of going in your first rickshaw ride, right?
Mhm.
Like, they're gonna have so much fun
Or,
with
like, the
just that.
cows walking on the street. I think
Yeah.
a lot of that in what I'm expecting has gotten cleaned up, but we'll see. If we're going outside of Ahmedabad, I'm sure they're gonna see cows on the road.
Yes.
And so I am excited for that because, my bottom, he is such a little animal lover.
Yeah.
He, I mean, the other day we went to this, um, like a Christmas event farm, and he had the best time petting the goats and feeding all the deer. And I was like, please take your hand out of the fence because you're about to get your hand like
You're gonna lose a finger,
stabbed,
buddy.
stabbed
You're
by a
gonna lose
boar.
a finger. I
So
mean,
yeah,
I
I'm
think,
I'm just excited for them to, and I'm never gonna know. I mean, I guess I could know. They do talk a lot now, but it's just gonna be crazy just to see the look on their face
yeah,
from a lot of this stuff.
yeah. And I think that's gonna be interesting. Just I think if anything, it's gonna be like the constant foot traffic. I don't know how to say that in like the best words. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many people everywhere. And I
Hmm.
think that might be, at least for me, I feel like that's definitely a different situation where when we're here, it's like I'm gonna only see that type of people if it's like at a specific event, right? Like on the streets. And in India, you're walking so much everywhere. So it's a lot more
It's like New York
walking.
City. Yeah.
It's like New York City, right? And they haven't fully experienced that too, right? So I think that's going to be like where India is that game changer when it comes to that. Is like the population is heavy, everyone is walking everywhere, you're not
Yeah.
taking the cars.
For
um
sure Ahmedabad because like Ahmedabad is a city.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And it's changed. I mean, even when my parents went recently, they're like, Tina, like everything is changing there. I think even for them to like, considering past few years they've been going more often than than they ever did. And they're always surprised by what's changing out there, the people. And it's so funny because yes, our parents were born and raised there, right? But now that they're here, they're like, some of these things we cannot do. They're like, people want to go out and have dinner at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and we want to go to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Like, we don't have time for that. And I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, but
lifestyle
like
differences.
lifestyle differences, there's a lot of things that have changed. And like, even when it comes to clothes, like what people are wearing compared to what we wear out here, or at least some of us, majority of us, right? Like where we're still like, I don't want to wear this type of an outfit, or I don't want to wear this. Like, I'd rather be a little bit more covered up. Again, that's speaking to you and I, not all Indian people are like that, right?
I think
But I
that
think,
has changed, and that's been changing ever since I was going as a kid. Was like
yeah,
when we used to go to India as like teenagers, um, and we would go to all the mandirs, we are wearing traditional clothes. We have sleeves, we have the buttas, we like cover our head if we need to respectfully, right? And like people in India, they're going to the mandirs like just pants and shirt. And so I've even had people comment on my outfits growing up as like, you're so traditional. People don't wear clothes like that here.
yeah. I remember
And
like when you and I have gone. Yeah. Yeah, for
and
sure.
for me, I'm just like, I feel comfortable like in these clothes. Like, because all of our salwars that we wore like were washable and light material.
Yeah.
And so it's climatically like that's the climate that these
Yeah.
clothes were designed for. And it's not like we're taking a lot of clothes. I'm like a sweater like this. I'm not going to hand wash it in my hotel room and hang it up to dry because it's not going to dry.
Yeah.
Like, but my salwar, I could wash it and it's dry by morning, you
Yeah.
know?
I
And so it's just
I think
how we
that's
grew
funny.
up going and traveling. Like I said, when we used to go, it was like always an adventure.
Yeah.
We're definitely like in 2016, we took trains and Minish was not having it.
I mean, I don't like them either, so I'm kinda with
I
Weenish on that one, where I'm like, I don't like it gave me so much anxiety traveling in trains growing up when we used to go. I
I love
hated
it.
it.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't there's like a love aspect to it and then there's like a okay, this is gross aspect, right? Like the bathrooms, always gross. But like the chai wala who comes on the train and he's like chai 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 garam garam chai 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 do rupee ka chai chai chai. Like I love that kind of stuff. I don't know why. Call me weird. Or like being able to sleep and you wake up in the like another city like 500 miles away. Pretty cool to me.
I mean, I think for me, okay, and my experience is very different, right? Going when I was so much younger to like when I went older, right? I think I was so terrified of India. Like just listening to stories like don't let go of your mom's hand, like when
Yeah.
we were growing, you know what I mean? Like
I
you and
mean,
I
we
had
almost
experience.
got kidnapped.
I was like, we had an experience, right, where it was like, and I think that stuck with me for so long that we almost got taken. That like, I think I had told you when we had gone to Delhi, it was me, mom, and Reina. we had, again, dressed moderately. We had jeans, kurta top, and our hotel staff were the ones who told us, you need to go change to blend in. So we went and we got Punjabis because we didn't bring any to the Taj Mahal because we're moderately dressed, right? Um, and to then go back years later where mom's like, no, girl, like you can wear shorts, you can wear dress, you can wear whatever you want. And I'm like, no, but I'd rather not. Like,
Mhm.
because I still have that experience of like, we almost got taken because we were kids and we thought we'd drop our cousins off at school and we might not have made it back, you know? And like, I think that stuck with me. But like, even when I went the last time, I think I had told you, I told mom, like, we're going to need a car. I'm not dealing with like going from one place to another and trying to do public transportation. I was like, we're not. We
Yeah.
have so much to do that, like, let's just get in the car, shop, and be on our way. And I think that's a lot of what has changed, at least in my mindset, when it comes to just traveling locally. I think because I had experiences that were different, I've always been like, I don't want to go back to India. But now I'm like, I want to go and travel. Like, I see my parents going and all the places they visited. And I'm like, I want to do those things. I want to be a traveler in India because, again, they also didn't see so much. They were, dad was always in Ahmedabad, mom grew up in Bombay. So it was like they didn't get to experience that stuff. So I too am excited to just see your pictures and follow along and see how the kids are doing. I think that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. We are going
And
to
it's,
book a car with air conditioning
yes, I mean, I don't think
because
Minish will survive.
no,
Let's
it's
talk
not
about
even a
it.
survive. It's not even that. It's like it is going to go. I joked about it in the beginning, but the AQI, it's really bad.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so much worse, I think, in the last decade.
Hmm.
Um, and even a decade ago when I did go, I would like cover my mouth or like tie a dupatta around my
Yeah.
face to like not breathe it in when you're in a rickshaw.
Yeah. I
And
used to
now
do
it's
that.
just like you
You have
before
to
you'd
wear a
have
mask.
like yeah, you before you would wear like whatever and you would have whatever car, it didn't matter if it had air conditioning if it's in the winter time. You just roll your windows down and it's all fine. Fresh air. But now I would just be like, nope, windows up. We're gonna breathe in some clean air for a little bit.
Yeah. I think I was telling you that I had read something. It was on the news as well, like the India news, and everyone's wearing masks. So I like packed a bunch of masks too for my parents when they're going. I was
Yeah.
telling you, make sure you take mask,
I'm gonna
because it's bad.
take like the N95 masks.
Yeah, because everyone's saying it. Like you have to wear those masks in order to be out and about safely.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that's just what the way it is. But I think you're still going to have a great time. I think it's going to be an amazing trip.
Yes.
I can't wait for you to go shopping, only because I want to see one what you're bringing back, and especially for like Shanti and Param. I think the outfits that they've been wearing have been super cute, but
Thank you.
um, there's like a fusion of fashion out there now, and I think it's definitely a lot
I
different.
love it. I love the fusion too, and you know I love it because
Yeah.
I do wear a lot of clothes that are Indo-Western, or like I try to style my saris to be Indo-Western in a way, and I've done it for years. But just to go back to that topic that we were talking about like a few minutes ago about where credit is due, I had this thought. So when Indian food incorporates Chinese food, they call it Indo-Chinese food. When Indian clothing incorporates Western fashions, they call it Indo-Western clothing. But like when Western fashion, food, whatever incorporates things that are Indian, you don't hear that word.
Yeah.
Like Indo whatever, Indo-Western or Western Indo. Like I don't know,
Yeah. Non-existent kind of.
non-existent, yeah.
It is different. And I think that's going to be a little bit harder to kind of see. Like, again, hopefully one day those type of things take a bigger stance, right? Where designers, people that are putting things out there are giving credit where is due, but I can't be mad about it. I love the Indo-Western. Like there's so much that's out there. And I love seeing like the new styles that, a lot of designers are coming out with. So I think it's going to be a great thing. I think you're going to make great memories going out there. I think the kids are going to have a blast. I
I
know
think
they're
they
going to
are
be
too.
excited. Yeah, I think they're going to have a blast. So I know it's going to be maybe a cultural shock for you going back after so many years, but I think it's definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah.
There's Things
I
that
mean,
you're gonna
when
miss?
there's things that we're gonna miss, but there's like things that I'm looking forward to. For example, like 10 years ago, entire highways were being built, right?
Yes.
Like it was so much faster to go from point A to point B that you don't have like dirt roads that you're traveling like hours on. And we would say like Aish Jiva Rasta because like that's what people in India would call it, like Aish Jiva Rasta because they're like so smooth. And so to people in India, it was just like a complete like uh what's the word I'm looking for? To people in India, it was like a complete new phenomena. But for
Yeah.
us, it was like this is normal because we have smooth roads all the
Yeah.
time.
It's like pothole. It's like when we hit a pothole here, right? Over there, it's like they're hitting that shit all the time. Like, right? It's like the bumpy roads and all that. You didn't have an option, right? So that's the way I would compare it. I'm like, we get a pothole here, and we're like, oh shit, like we just hit that. And then for them, it's like the opposite. They're like, we're not hitting any of that.
Hmm.
Like you have the roads, and it is again so much easier to go from point A to point B.
And
Um,
everything is on Google Maps now, I think.
yes, and like even you getting rides and all of that is on Google
Hmm.
Maps. I know.
Uber is like
Hmm.
prominent there. They have a lot of I don't think they have DoorDash per se, but I think they have a lot of delivery food services.
Yes, yeah,
So all of that is going to be completely new and different, and probably more similar to going to like a European country now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
I'm excited. I know it's going to be a great trip.
come, come with us.
I wish. I wish. I mean, again, when I go, I definitely want to take time and just do a lot more traveling. I know right now for you, it's like testing out the waters. So when you go, maybe in another 2 years, maybe I'll join you
Okay.
when we actually do more sightseeing and stuff like that. But um, I'm excited to come back and hear about your journey, unpack everything, definitely talk about what surprised you, the emotional moments, what shocked you. And maybe what gave you some discomfort going there. Happy memories, sad memories, whatever it may
Yeah,
be. I'm definitely excited to unpack that when you get back.
I'm too. We'll do the next episode either while I'm in India or when I get back. So yeah. To all of our listeners and viewers out there, wishing you all a safe and happy holiday season and a happy and safe new year.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.